Okay, so welcome back, Happy New Year, and what a good year it's going to be. So over Christmas I was looking through a few of the old videos, and I found this one, which is a video of a race I did at Spa in a Formula Ford. And as we're going to Spa with the Brabham later in the year, I thought, well, we'll have a little look and see if we can learn anything. And well, it's all quite a good idea to have a quick look, isn't it? Anyway, so this was in 2019. It was my first season of single-seater racing, and I was racing a 1980 PRS 1600 Formula Ford. This race was at the Spa Summer Classic in July, and I'm racing with the historic Monoposto Racing Series. It's the Dutch Racing Championship, and it's organised by Helena. And I did a few races for them in the Formula Ford, and then I was going to race a Formula Ford 2000, but then COVID took over, and then events, it all sort of like took over, and I ended up with a Formula 3 Brabham, and I've never got back to racing with them. So this race, it was a standing start, and that's because there's lots of categories of cars. So I was in a 1600 Formula Ford, and there's quite a few of those in the race. There was a Formula Ford 2000 like the one in front of me, and I believe there was some 1600 Formula 3 cars right at the front, and some Formula V's that run around at the back. So there's a good old mix of cars. I wasn't anywhere near the front of the grid, but I had been around Spa before in the MG, so I sort of like knew my way around. But it's to drive a single seater around Spa is like a pinch yourself sort of moment, really. But this was my first season of racing in a single seater, so you know, I'd got a lot to learn. Well, I've still got a lot to learn, but I definitely had a lot to learn then, and I actually found it quite difficult when I first started single seaters. So what you'll see now, this is our first lap. We just went through Pouhon, or Double Gauche, or whatever you want to call it, and someone had dropped oil, and I think it was that car that we just passed had dropped some oil. So in my naivety, I was racing this 2-litre car, and I just thought, well, in a minute he's going to get a move on and just drive away from me. But we managed to stay with them. It was quite interesting, actually. And a couple of years later, when I did drive a Formula Ford 2000, they weren't a lot faster in a straight line. It was more that they could carry more speed through corners. So obviously that put them on the front foot when it comes. I have to apologise, my gear changes there. My gear change was absolutely awful. I'd like to think I got a little bit better there. So this car had got quite a high first gear, which is absolutely ideal for Spa, in the bus stop at the end. So it's the only corner that you use first gear in, but it's a really slow corner. I mean, this is La Source now. That's fairly slow, but you can get around there in second, mainly because you've got a downhill section now running down to Eau Rouge. Now there's some flags being waved because there's a car crossing the track, so that sort of compromised our entry speed into Eau Rouge, and that compromises my speed all the way up the Kemmel Straight now. So it's a little while since I've watched this video, but I do believe there's a Formula Ford 1600 getting a toe off of me, and I think he pops her out at the end of the Kemmel Straight. He pops out and overtakes me. But like I said, it was a pinch yourself sort of moment. There he goes. With this camera angle I've got here, you can't see any of the right hand side of the track. So, but there we go. It's just one of those things. And it then became quite obvious that we were actually a little bit faster than that Formula Ford 2000 in front, the 2-litre car. So I think we were thinking, well, we could probably get a jump on him, and yeah, so that guy does. But then I see in the foreground there's a waved flag. Actually, what it was, and I went past it, it's actually, I know that it's a waved yellow, and it's because there was oil down here, and I consequently did find out that there were some people who spun on that oil but managed to get going again, and so they left the flags out. So I think possibly if the flag hadn't been there, I might have been able to get past that guy. But so we're on the downhill section all the way down here now, and it's surprising how quickly you can pick up speed when you're going downhill. And then we're coming up to, this is the Stavelot corner, and then this leads on to well, we call it the straight, but it's not really straight. It's got a few curves in it, but you're literally flat out up here. And this is actually, although it's uphill, it's one of the fastest sections of the circuit. This next corner, so there's a Formula Ford 2000 just past me. So this next corner I should be taking it flat, and I think towards the end of the race I do take it flat. Certainly in the MG you can take it flat. And interestingly, actually, although we're in a single seater and our lap time, so I probably do a 20 seconds, or it should be 20 seconds faster than the MG, the actual top speeds that we reach are probably about the same. Just that our cornering speeds are so much different. So I'm not quite sure what happened there, but I overtook him anyway. See this camera angle here, it looks like I've slipped round past him, but I don't. I actually slip in behind him. I remember when I first watched this video back, I was quite surprised because I thought I was taking Eau Rouge flat every time, but I'm having a little comfort lift. And it makes quite a difference actually at Spa. The speed down there that you can carry through Eau Rouge really makes a difference when you get along the Camel Straight. And it was quite interesting when I have Ben in the MG. He'll be 3 or 4 miles an hour faster through. So there we go, I managed to pick up a bit of a toe and immediately got past him. So I think that's about my only overtaking in this race. But anyway, I'll say, yeah. So I've decided that I'm gonna be this. To be fair, this car was really good under the brakes. It gave you a lot of confidence. Didn't give you a lot of confidence in the fast corners, but well, not me anyway at the time. And that was because I later found out that we got the car set wrong. But I didn't, my first couple of seasons of racing, I didn't really know what I was doing in single seaters. So this corner here has compromised the whole race actually, because what I was doing, I was hoping I could get most of the top Formula Ford guys can get round in less than 3 minutes, and I was aiming for a sub 3 minute lap. I didn't manage it at all, by a long shot, but so we're on a 3:17 now. It does actually fall quite a bit from there, if I remember correctly, as I'm sort of like learning to drive the circuit, and so that going into Stavelot there, I can use a bit more of that curb. I don't know whether I do in this race, but certainly in later years when I've been here with the MG, we've virtually got all bar one wheel off on that curb. So let's see if I lift. So this is Blanchimont here, it's a really fast corner. I'm having a lift, look. That should be I think that should be a flat out corner in this car. Yeah, so right. That's it. Into first gear. accelerate away. I was saying earlier, I thought those 2-litre cars would have run away from me, but in actual fact, once I got past them, I was, I left them behind really. So either they'd got problems or they were inexperienced. I don't know, but and that. What I'm doing, I've got someone I'm chasing, so that 1600 car in front of me that got past me on the first lap or the second lap. I've got him in my sights now, and I think that was better through there, although I think I did have a lift. I literally can't wait to take the Brabham through here. We'll have a little. They should be a similar sort of speeds, but I'm hoping I can get sub 3 minutes. I'm hoping. So from here it's downhill all the way. So the car is lovely when it's going downhill. And it's surprising if you've never been here before, or just have a walk around it. If you ever get here, try and walk up to the top here. I think that's called Brussels, that corner there. That's one of my favourite places to stand because the spectators actually look down on the cars, and you can really see the cars working. They're absolutely fantastic. And we're now coming down to Pouhon, or Double Gauche. I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, it should be a double apex sort of like corner. We were compromised because there was all oil down on the right hand side coming into on the entry into the corner. So we've got a yellow flag now, not quite sure what that's for. The car feels so quick through here, but it's because it's downhill. So what we've got? Yeah, there's a car on the right hand side there, so there we go, green flag. Yeah, so next time I go, I'm going to try running on that curve on the left hand side all the way down through there, because that's quite critical to get up, get the speed along this straight. This first one, you sort of like you take it really gently, try not to steer too much and lose speed. Yeah, so I'm still lifting. I've just noticed my lap time, so I've dropped, since getting past those 2-litre cars, what have I dropped? 8 seconds a lap, so that's quite cool. Yeah, so I don't think I go much faster than that in this race. Hard brakes into La Source. So you see La Source is quite low. We were down to like 40 miles an hour, but you pick up quite quickly because you're going downhill. Yeah, I still lifted. It's better if I still lifted. It's great watching this. This is just an absolutely fantastic circuit. So this is in July, the sun's shining. We're going there in September at the 6-hour weekend. So the weather probably won't be quite as warm, but doesn't matter. You know, I should be driving a Formula 3 car around Spa. It'll be absolutely fantastic. I should be a lot faster in this car than the MG though. My fastest lap in the MG was a 3:14. Admittedly that was on sticky tyres, it was on the historic tyres, but even so that was still going some. And you know, for an FIA car, it was 1800 cc, so that was still going quite well. Yeah, you see, I should be over on the right hand side and then cutting in, but you know, that some cars, there's some oil down there, cars are spun, so I was just avoiding it completely. And I like to think that's probably why I didn't get below the 3 minutes, but you know, hey ho, I don't know, we'll see. So what I'm going to do is, so I'm so looking forward. It's such a long time since I was last in a car, and because of circumstances, I'm not actually going to start racing till May. I can't do the first race meeting of the season, so I'm going to do some practice. I bought a Caterham, so as you might have seen in some of the videos, so I'm going to try and keep my hand in on track days, but it's sort of like the new year, and I'm just so missing the racing that I started looking at these videos, and I thought, well, let's hurry up. So I don't think I lifted then, and I was wrong. I didn't hit the apex either, so I think I just drifted wide. I think you can get, so if I did that in qualifying, I would this lap would be disqualified, because that was blatantly track limits there straight off. And certainly, you know, I can't remember if it was last year. I think it was last year or the year before when we were doing the 3-hour race in the MG. All of my fastest laps were disqualified because for track limits. So I think you've got to be careful of. So that's better. It's not brilliant. That's better. So we're going 110 going in at the bottom, and then plus the leaders coming through. What's my speed? Did I get a toe off them? They probably went too fast. No, I didn't. That Brussels, you sort of like, you really hang on there and try and it feels like it's just the car's just being ripped away from you, and so does this one now. So because we're going downhill, you accelerate quite fast. I am staying more over to the right now, so you hit this apex, you get the car on, you absolutely floor it, so you should be flooring it now. And I came in too early there. Because look, you see the speed there as I come down here. I'm almost up to the fastest on that short little straight. You're almost up to your fastest terminal speed straight away, and that's because it is the elevation changes are absolutely fantastic for this circuit. So that last one was a 3:06. So yeah, I am getting faster every time, every lap. But that one was, I did go off the track, so I might have cheated a bit there. Oh, by the way, when you're looking at this, if you see the map that's down the front here, just ignore that. That was this is fairly early on me having a V-Box, and I hadn't got the settings quite correct, and I don't even know what circuit that is, but it's definitely not Spa. So it's definitely not Spa because it hasn't got a little dot to say where I am on it, so it can't find me. So is that so that's the Formula Ford, or is that a Formula Junior I'm about, Formula V? Yeah, so I'm about to lap a car, but that's the Formula Vs. They are quite a bit slower than us, even slower than me. Right, see if I have a lift. Yeah, I'm still having a comfort lift. See, I had a lift there, and looks I'm about 2 or 3 miles an hour. By the time I get to the top of Raidillon there, I'm 2 or 3 miles an hour slower than I was on previous laps. Yeah, about 110. So I'm about 110 a lot on the top of the Camel Straight. I think this actually is the last. That's the last lap. And quite interestingly, that other lap was a second and a half. That last lap was a second and a half slower than my fastest lap. So it's quite interesting. So anyway, as I was saying, I'm so looking forward to this next season, and so I thought I'd bore you with these old videos. So this is my first season single seaters, and I had this car for a few years. I eventually sold it to pay for the engine in the Brabham. I sort of wish I hadn't now, but you know, you can't keep everything. This car is now actually in Brazil. There was a Brazilian car, bought it, and it was quite amazing. I saw the advert and it said, as driven by the Martin Whitlock. That's the Auto Car Storage Company. So obviously I'm now become a legend in Brazil. Maybe or maybe not. Maybe a legend. So there we go. So there's a lot more than 2,000 litre, the 2 litre cars coming through now, and this is actually the final lap, so we'll be taking the checker flag, and so there we go. That's a race from, well, what's that, 6 years ago now. So yeah, they're all streaming past me now. So hope you enjoyed this little look back, and it's really looking forward to this next season. So if I find any more, I found a few, my first ever race in the MG, so maybe I'll put that up next time. So but thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember, how hard can it be?